Hey guys, I wanted to get on here and do a YouTube live because I had a video go up on my Artfully Creative channel yesterday, and that video gave you guys 2 tips for creating memory decks cards, and one of those was to use your washi. Okay, so if you guys have stacks of washi like I do, then what we can do is use the washi along the edge of the cardstock to create some rosettes that look like pattern paper. That way you can save your pattern paper on some of the collections that aren't in production anymore. So the other tip I had for you on that video, if you want to go watch the video from yesterday, I thought it'd be good to do a live just to share with you guys exactly how I did that. So the other tip from yesterday was to use your card packs. So I don't know if people knew what I was talking about. So if you have a box of cards from the collection, like this Merry Days collection, what you can use is the card because it's very thick and heavyweight cardstock. So they're great bases because they are thicker and can hold all of the stuff we like to put on our MD cards. So here is the one that I showed you guys. I have a process video for this one for yesterday, and so I'm going to show you how to make that rosette with the washi tape, and it looks like pattern paper, so that's a good way to use your washi tape. I know we like to collect washi tape, but then using it is like, here's another one of those washi tape rosettes. Sorry for the lighting there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is flip the camera, and if you guys have a cup of joe that you want to grab there, you can gather, if you want to gather some supplies, I'll be using these punches, a 1-inch punch and a 1.5-inch punch. I'll be using some white cardstock. It doesn't have to be heavy duty thick cardstock, just this is 65-pound cardstock. Then I'm also going to be using an old school Sizzix machine and the paper rosette die from Tim Holtz. Don't worry if you don't have the die, you can just cut a strip of cardstock. I'll give you the measurements. And then you can cut a decorative edge with scissors or a punch if you don't have the die. So that's, oh hi Marie, I recognize you. So if you guys want, I'm going to give everybody a chance to notice that this video is on, and I'm also going to take a second here and turn on my iPad. I'm in my craft room here, and that's my pegboard that I made and hung myself. So I painted that with gold spray paint, and it's got all my current, like the snowflake collection from Crate Paper is up there, so like current. Oh, you're making dinner, yum. So I'm just having a cup of coffee. It's only afternoon here, so. And let me turn on my iPad, that way I can see the comments. Here, see if I can find myself. So, let's see if you go to my channel, does it show that I'm live? It does, and there's a thumbnail. It doesn't really show what we're doing though, so. Okay, so let me click on the live and see if I can see the comments. Oh, good! And I'm gonna have to turn it all the way down to remember that. Because there's a delay. So that's really hilarious to see like a 5-second delay and it repeats what you just said. So it's like, okay, so now that I have my iPad there where I can see, I'm going to turn the camera over and we'll get started, and I'll give you the tips. So let me see if I can. Okay, so if you guys bear with me, what I have to do is flip the camera and change the tripod. So that'll take a little bit. You might want to avert your eyes if you get motion sickness like I do. Okay, we're going to try to flip here and see. Okay, maybe no. Yeah, I don't know if I want to move the camera first or flip it. Let's try. Finally got it figured out here, so I'm going to set up the camera on the tripod again like I had it. And now that we've got the feedback, hopefully it didn't skip too, I mean that was a few minutes, but okay, avert your eyes. I'm going to try to put this thing on here. Okay. Okay, now that you guys can see my desk, can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And let me turn my sound all the way up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut a strip, and this will depend on the size of your paper rosette die. If you have this original from Tim Holtz, it's going to be 4 centimeters. And the reason I chose that size was just because it's a little more precise. So if you cut your width to 4 centimeters, then what you can do is grab some washi. I'm going to switch and use this You Go Girl. You guys can see my coffee in the shot there. It says, Rescue Mom. Oh, I love that mug. I see a thumbs up, so that must mean I'm back. Okay, so I'm going to take this washi, which is from, I'm going to lay them this way so you guys can see. This is the All Heart collection. And so you can pick any washi that you want. The sample one that I showed in the video was using the Merry Days, so I have this one. And we can also use some of those because I'm still working with winter here. Okay, so what I did was I created these pencil marks on my die so that when I go to add the washi tape, it's going to be straight. Okay, so there's an example, and then you're going to run off some of your washi. And all I did was use those pencil marks to make sure that it is lined up. Because I lined it up with the edge of the rosette. Okay, so once you have your washi tape on, now this might shake the camera, I might go do it on my separate desk. So once you have the washi tape on there, all you have to do is run your die through. And you're going to end up with these types of rosettes. And this looks really like pattern paper. I like how the washi tape looks. See this one from Merry Days, you can see the ice skater and the swan, and once you put something in the middle, you really can't tell that these aren't pattern paper, and that's just a way to use up some of your washi tape and add some extra patterns if you're running low on pattern paper. And the other tip I was going to show you guys was using these card packs. So I got this card pack from Tuesday Morning. Thanks! Marie said, super cute idea. Thank you. And you guys can see my memory decks. I haven't shared with you guys any of these other cards I created. I just shared this one so far. But you can create a winter memory deck so that you can add some whatever you like to your cards, and these are just the dividers. So I'll show you how I created that one in a second. I just wanted to also give you the second tip. So these cards are really, I don't know if you guys can hear how thick that is. That's really heavy duty and heavyweight cardstock, so you can get 2 memory decks cards out of 1 card because these are printed front and back and the inside's blank. So if you are running low on pattern paper, like the Merry Days collection, I was only able to find 2 6x8 paper pads. So in order to create more memory decks cards and get some more pattern paper, I thought of using these card packs. And like I said, this is really good base for your memory decks cards because look how thick they are. I mean, that is super thick, and it works really well. And then you have the front side and the back side to cut to size. So I cut these 4 inches wide, and then you can go 3.5 or 4 high, depending on if you have the die. I just cut them by hand and then round the corners. So that's another tip. I've got my glue gun ready, and I'm going to go over here off camera. You guys won't be able to see me for a second because I don't want to shake the, I don't want to create an earthquake here. So let me know if you have any other ideas about creating these rosettes. Okay, so this is an old school, like the first Sidekick Sizzix machine that came out. So, I mean, I don't get rid of things, so, I mean, if it works, why get rid of it? So it's going to be a little bit shaky here. I'm just going to roll this through to show you guys what happens when you put the washi tape on the edge of the cardstock. It really, when you run it through your die cut machine, it really presses it into the paper and it becomes like one with the paper and it looks like a pattern. So that's why I like doing this. There you go. Eventually I'll get the whole thing out of here. I just didn't want to do it super fast. Okay. So now you can see how that worked and why I lined that up like I did, because when you pull that off, you're sure that the washi tape goes flush to the edge. Now this is the outside edge, the decorative edge, so when you go to make your rosette, you're going to go like this. There we go. And see, now it has that cute "You Go Girl" along the edge. I just think it's, you know, another way to use your washi, another way to get more out of your supplies. Like I ordered, it was supposed to be here today actually, a scrapbook.com order with the All Heart collection, because that one was hard to find and I wanted more of that for Valentine's. So that's what this washi tape is from. But it also will coordinate with this Mary Days collection, I think. Okay. So once you guys get this all folded up, what I do is and this is once again an idea just to save your pattern paper, I punch the 1.5 inch punch from the white cardstock. And we're gonna hot glue. I've had my hot glue gun plugged in here. So first what you're gonna do is glue this edge. Like that. And then we're going to have to hold this just because it's a high temp glue gun. But now you can see how, you can start to see how this is going to look and how that pattern is going to look once you make this into a rosette. And clear off some of this stuff here. Okay, so once this glue dries, you got to give it a little bit just because it's got to dry enough. Okay. That might be enough. It probably is not going to be. Okay, so then what I do is make sure the pattern's facing out, and then we're going to add some hot glue to our background circle, and this is just going to be the base that holds the rosette. Okay, and then I try to go like this and try to get it centered. There we go. Now you can see how that looks with the washi. It really looks like you have a specific pattern paper that just goes around the edge, and I love how these look. Let me know how you guys like this idea, and I'll do a couple more here. Or what I can do is actually cut the card to show you guys how the card base looks. So I'm really gonna like this one for Valentine's. I think this is gonna be cute. And I especially like that it says "You Go Girl." So then you could put like a smaller embellishment in the center so that you can see that white, and I like the fact that it's even all the way around. So there we go, we have the back. And then you can also, when you use the Tim Holtz die, it comes with this seal shape. And that's how that looks. Okay, so now that we did the rosette, I'll show you what I like to do with these cards. So I cut the back off. Okay, I'm going to move my washi out of the way, and I'll bring in the big mama Tim Holtz here. Okay, so what I'm going to do on my other cutting, what you can do if you cut a lot of something is you can mark your trimmer with the size. So say you want a 3.5 inch tall by 4.25 inch wide. So that was 4 inches. So I can make it 4 inches wide, and then I can make it 3.5 tall, and it'll pretty much be the size of your standard Memory Dex card. So there you have a really sturdy card base, and that is how I created these other ones. So this is the card base, this is a card base from crepe paper. And you can see just how super sturdy that is. That's not bending. It's got a lot of stuff on it, but it's not going to bend because, once again, you have this heavy weight. So then you can just round 1/4 inch corner punch the corners. There we go. So thanks for joining me for this really quick little live, and let me know if you guys have any questions or if you have any other ideas. Thanks for joining me. Bye.